It Hey there, folks. It's Gary Gilbert back. It is Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, and I am back to talk a little bit more about Synthesis Canada and specifically Synthesis Social. So, we all know the constant issues that has been happening. So many social networking and social media based platforms. It's kind of how we're here and why we're here. The constant censorship from an individual's interests and the interruptions in just, daily functions of some people's feeds or postings or all that kind of wonderful shit. And it gets annoying. It gets annoying for the commenters. It gets annoying for the viewers. It gets annoying for the people following those people that are giving them that information or that news or that update or whatever. And it doesn't seem to matter because no matter where we turn, it's the same reoccurring theme. And that sadly is the outcome of any kind of corporate-based platform where big business is involved through advertising. We give up our rights to our own direction when we think somehow that our opinions and our feelings matter, when the corporation and their direct goals are about the bottom line. It might come as a shock or a surprise to some of y'all out there, maybe others it won't, but they don't care about your feelings. Your opinions are not profitable, and therefore they're irrelevant. Now, is that right, or is that proper, or is that moral, or is that doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with right or proper or morality. It's a legal decision that they've made that is completely backed by the powers that be through the laws and legislation. So we can spend our time complaining, and we can spend our time debating the merits of such things, their rights versus our rights, this, that, and the next thing. But in the end, it comes back to this. Freedom isn't free. It's always had a price. Economically, physically, mentally, socially. It's always carried a price, and usually a combination of all those things, all through history. We look at some of the obvious things like the freedoms that were won from the efforts of World War II and World War I. And other wars. We look at the political process and the freedoms won from that. Your right to choose, your right to vote, your right to do all these things. It always costs people something. It costs them sacrifice. And that could be time, could be energy, could be money, it could be their lives. It's all these things that make freedom such an expensive thing, and something that should be cherished and pushed for and continuously fought for. We dropped the ball as a society, as a civilization, especially the Western civilization, in the past couple of years, because it was difficult, it was time consuming, it was costly. And so our parents decided that they'd try to make it easier for us, so we didn't have to suffer the things that they had to suffer, that we didn't have to struggle the struggles they had. And similar along the line and all that, we dropped the fucking ball, and now we are where we are. So with Synthesis, our goal is to try to help, at least on a small scale, get back to that concept, get back to that mentality, to promote the idea of a pro-Canada, of an inclusive Canadian motion or push. And, social media is that tool that everybody uses today to make that push. So here's what it is, and I want you guys to think on this. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about your opinions of me or your knowledge or lack of knowledge of me. I'm irrelevant. This whole thing, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about Canada. So think on that for a second as I explain this. Picture a place where the things that were supposed to be done, the things that were your right to do, the things that directly have a response from your input, whether it be good input or bad input, or the response is a good response or a bad response, whether it's a peaceful or an antagonistic position, dictating the direct response from those that get that message and give in kind. A place where you can surf the site and check out the news feeds, hear people's opinions and comments, read articles shared, just like you do on places like Facebook and Twitter. You can interact and message and friend and do all these things. You can open a group or a page if you get the inspiration either from life or for somebody else to actually do something similar, to become that message, to bear that torch for others, to interact on a personal level or on a public level, to be able to do things like set up polls and set up questions and get feedback, direct input from those that are coming across this thing, to live stream or to podcast. So just to anonymously have an audio cast of whatever topic that you deem appropriate for your choice. Or maybe it's a live stream to be on screen so people can see you and hear and see the message that you're giving based off of who you are. Or maybe it's just simply to sit back and enjoy and carouse and take in all the information and apply it to your own life, or disregard it as your personal preference may be. That's Synthesis Social. And it's done from a Canadian perspective for Canadians. It's done in a way that allows you to not have to worry about neutering your position, to pad your response or your replies or your comments for fear of offending somebody else, or being reported and put into Facebook jail, or having your account suspended. A place where you can actually just kind of be you. You can just do you like it originally was intended from a lot of these social platforms before the infection of big corporations. Now, you add to that the distribution aspect of the content, the distribution of the media, of the videos, of the articles, done by you, the Canadians, my fellow Canadians, my countrymen, my countrywomen, people with something to say. And on a personal level, the site does not give a shit whether you're a conservative or a liberal, whether you're with the NDP or the Green Party, whether you vote or you abstain. They don't care about your religious background. They don't care about your ethnical background. They don't care about your age, so long as you are of a consenting age. All they care about, the site cares about, is that you're Canadian. And this is your passport or your right to access the site. And my personal opinions, or the personal opinions of the staff that might be assisting this project or this platform, are irrelevant. I may be conservative. I may have a staunch dislike for the liberal or the left mentality. But that's my right to choose. Just as it's your right to choose to be a liberal and be of that leftist mentality. You and I can now engage, and the direction of that engaging discourse really depends on our personal interactions. If you do so from a common sense critical point of view, from a logical stance, using facts to back up your claims, it's on my onus to have to refute that or argue from my perspectives. And I can do so in a civil manner without calling you names, without insulting you, without doing all these things. Or alternatively, I can attack you. I can insult you. I can call you names. If that's so choose, if that's the way I choose to interact, the reality is in life, if I choose to do that, it won't be very long before I am excluded, not by censorship, but by my own actions. My own choices will decide my inclusion or exclusion from somebody's conversation. That's how life works, folks. If I'm a constant asshole, it won't be long before people say, hey, look, there's an asshole. I want nothing to do with him. If I'm open and honest and courteous and whatever, or even if I'm not, so long as I argue from a point of common sense and logic and facts, then there's no issue. If I cross the line into that area of criminality by threatening somebody's life or whatever, well, that's just absolutely abhorrent. No civilized society accepts those kinds of actions. No civilized society is okay with that kind of behavior, and we have laws in place to reflect that. And even if we don't agree with the law specifically, it is the law, and it's our onus to uphold that law. And if we don't like those laws, it's up to us to do the work to change them. So as far as synthesis goes, it is an independent situation, independent entity where it is strictly acting as a content distributor or a content provider, not of our making, not of our choosing, but of your choosing. So when you do get the opportunity to come aboard and join us, keep in mind that when you open your account, although we have a general overall censor-free platform, your success or failure on the interaction with others is solely dependent upon you. There's no outside influence to protect you or to promote you from within the platform itself. The successes of your message come back to the way you present it and make it accessible to those around you. So with this opportunity, we all see it. Ask yourself as you're hearing me, sit back and close your eyes and think about this for a second. How many times have you thought, fuck, Facebook is at it again? Fascist Facebook, censorship Facebook, censorship YouTube. How many times have you seen that or heard that from others? I just got out of Facebook jail. What'd you do? I reposted a meme. I just got out of Facebook jail. What did you do? I criticized Islam. You hear it. It's not just an occasional thing. I think there's not one Canadian who hasn't come across that by now. From any political spectrum or any political leaning, we all see it. We all feel it. In fact, it gets really bad when your prime minister of your country states to Facebook, declares publicly as a supposed elected official that the political stance from the government of Canada is, if Facebook doesn't crack down on the conservative left or conservative right and declare it false news and propaganda and all this wonderful stuff, they're just going to simply block Facebook from Canada. China did that. And we all know how Trudeau loves China, loves the communist dictatorship of China. He's declared that publicly time and time again. So now, with all the complaints and all the whining and constant regurgitation of the problems, we've tried to do our best as a Canadian to provide a solution. Our solution is to vote with our dollar. Our solution is to tell Zuckerberg and Facebook and their corporate interests to fuck off. We've rebuilt a platform and made it better. We've rebuilt the platform and improved on its options. And we've rebuilt it for you. We are not taking corporate interested or corporate bribes, so to speak. So it will come back to you, the user, you, the proud Canadian, you, the patriot, you, the whatever label you apply to yourself in your life. If you say you don't support censorship, then you'll not use platforms that promote censorship. If you say you're a proud Canadian willing to sacrifice, you'll do so. Now, does that mean if you don't come that somehow we think you're not patriotic? Well, no, it has nothing to do with that. We're simply offering a choice and a chance that people keep asking for. Now that we've done that, the onus will be on you come January 1st when we open the doors to the general public to come in and show that support with more than just a Facebook like. It will be on the onus of you, the general public, to use and expand upon what we've done to make it better. In the end, it will be on the onus of you, the Canadian public, to change Canada for the better. And we can do that through Synthesis Social. And for those of you that don't understand the name, some do, some don't. I've had many people message me and ask me what the name means. I can only suggest this. Go and look for the dictionary definition online. Go Google it, and you will see that the very first thing it states really summarizes exactly what not just the political process itself is, but what we are moving towards, what the idea of synthesis is. As usual, folks, this is going to be a short video. I'm about to end it, but I just want to put it out there that if you have any questions, be sure to email us at synthesiscanada2018@gmail.com, or to join the Facebook group Synthesis Social, or you can message me. Look for me on Facebook, Gary Gilbert, Gilbert. There's a picture of a person standing by the water with the trees in the background with the sunset. That's me. That's the one. I'm not hard to find. But or you can see me where I post this and share this video URL link on some of the groups and just kind of message me from there. So if you have any questions or any whatever, definitely reach out and go from there. You can also come across on some of the groups that I'm posting in people that have actually joined already and got a pre-peek or a sneak peek at the site, and you can ask them. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to answer any questions of what their experience is like so far. Till next time, you enjoy your day, stay warm, stay safe, and remember, your country is in trouble and we need you. I need you. The country needs you. You need the rest of the country. You need to connect with others of like mind. That's how it works. That's the process. Bye for now.